What's this? New intro. G'day. We went and spent 11 nights tearing around Vietnam, starting at Hanoi, a big chunk in Da Nang, and then wrapping up with an injury that put one of us out of action in Ho Chi Minh City. I'm going to run you through it all. Editor Chris here. Obviously you can't fit 11 days worth of holiday into a 15-minute video, but if you look up here, you'll see the stuff that didn't make the cut. Now, let's start off in... Upon landing, we dropped our bags at the Proverb Hotel, and you can check out a dedicated hotel review card at the end of the video, and we proceeded directly to a local bun cha joint in Bun Cha 74, as this was top of the list for Hanoi, and I tell you, this first meal set the bar incredibly high. I'll link this spot and all others in the description to help you track them down. Everything here is basically served immediately. You sit down, they ask you how many do you want, and then it arrives. I already love this place. The smoky grilled pork and the noodles soaked in broth with fresh herbs. It was so damn good. After that fantastic meal and a couple of beers, we wandered on down to Hoan Kiem Lake, went full tourist mode, and jumped on this here double-decker bus for a cruise around the city. You do go past some pretty nice looking places, but the first epic sight is when you open up to St. Joseph's Cathedral. The bus takes you past the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, which is just across the road from the National Assembly House, and that is just down the street from the Presidential Palace. Before we knew it, darkness has fallen, the city starts lighting up, and we're glad that we chose the late afternoon bus. For the best experience, try catching the bus after about 4:45, as we jumped on the last bus at 5:15 p.m, as this was a really good way of watching Hanoi transform from day to night. Good job, WIFO. The next morning, we kicked off with an egg coffee and a coconut coffee from this place that's called Egg Coffee. My God, we fell in love with this stuff. From there, we returned down to the lake and did a lap, and we watched several local groups dancing, which was pretty damn cute. It's a joke! Now, let no good walk go unpunished, so we stopped at some random joint for these little mini banh mi pate things and beers, and God, I miss them. Now, we are off to the Hanoi train station for something a little different to most travel videos, as we're jumping on the famous street train. You know, the one that usually gets more attention from the outside as it heads past all those super squishy cafes. Getting the perspective from inside the carriage rather than trackside was an interesting experiment, and I think still worth a shot. Would I recommend it for the about $3 Australian? Yeah, it's good value for money, although the windows could definitely use a clean. If you do jump on this train and you get off at the next station, go left, not right. If you go right, it hits a dead end, and that sucks. Ask me how I know. A quick post-train snacky snack, and we actually found ourselves walking past St. Joseph's Cathedral, so here it is again. Next up, beers, yes. We headed to Lan Am Restaurant, where it is famous for their duck pho.
Okay, so for the egg, please wait 3 minutes before you enjoy it. Okay? We land on the side and wait 3 minutes.
Okay.
And about this one,
Pause here. Save this in Google Maps.
Do it. Do it now.
Now for the shopping. We found Hanoi to be the best of the 3 locations. I made the cardinal error of not listening to my wife, thinking I could buy everything I wanted in Da Nang or Ho Chi Minh. Things like the really large North Face navigator jackets just didn't seem to exist in Da Nang or Ho Chi Minh, maybe due to the different climates. So learn from my mistake. If you see something you want in Hanoi, buy it there, when you see it, as you may not find it in the other cities. Just like you saw on the bus, this place really puts on a show at night. Everywhere is really well lit, open and ready to serve you all the good stuff. Ooh, a pop-up. Better do as it says. Now, no visit to Hanoi would be complete without checking out Ta Hien, the famous beer street. We rocked through here just after 7:30 and it was already getting pretty busy. The next day, we chilled out a bit in the morning and then headed out to Terraço Sky Bar for a pretty sweet view of the lake. You'll need to book ahead of time to get this view though. So from there, we had some cocktails. Then we were off to Leo's Cocktails for some more cocktails. It's a really nice little place this, with a sweet balcony view. And after some high quality, high liquor content drinks, we went off to Collette's Bistro, which unfortunately we didn't take a video of. Sorry about that, but it was excellent. Now we find ourselves at the airport because we are off to... Da Nang, how I miss you. We went and dropped our bags off at our really spacious room at Prana Boutique Hotel, and then straight down to the famous Bếp Cuốn for their combo #1, which was simply amazing. We also got a side of pho and some spring rolls, I think, and some other bits and bobs. This place really lives up to its reputation for awesome food, and these babies are cracked rice paper rolls. They are so damn good.
Yeah, boy.
And as you're about to see, this place is super popular at night, so either book, arrive early, or prepare to wait. So we headed back to the hotel for some BYO pool beers, and then soak up this lovely sunset to prepare for a bloody good night market. Okay, alright, not that one.
Oh yeah, very good, man.
That's a good one. Alright, so this might have been a faux pas, I don't know, but I tried to negotiate this durian guy down and he wasn't having a bar of it. Gave it a crack, it's not my kind of thing. No judgment though.
Not typical to swallow.
It's like custard, garlic, and petrol had a baby. These markets were pretty big, maybe 200 meters by 4 rows or thereabouts.
Oh, and corn.
So we did a lap and a bit, but we were actually saving ourselves for dinner as we had planned one of our highly rated, high expectations dinners, which was over at Chai Go restaurant, which was the best of the trip by far. Next day, first stop on the scoots was but a minute ride away at the Forest 98 Café. This was a complete surprise for me, with lush tropical interior where they weren't skimping on the foggers. Huge koi cart beneath your feet and some really solid food and drink options. Back on the scoots now for a 10-minute haul over to Banh Mi Hioi Lu Ong Fu Dat. That took a lot of practice, believe it or not.
Crazy lady on a pink machine.
And this place is not far from the centre of the beach side of town and has a solid reputation for its crispy pork fillings. This was the wife's favourite banh mi, but you have to get double meat and also consider just getting a plate of meat with extra meat. We weren't supposed to film here, by the way. Oops. Well, back onto our trusty 1000 double Rs and off into the concrete jungle. And then actually into a jungle, which is where we will climb up to the Lady Buddha statue at Monkey Mountain. On account of being too cool, our electric scooters were not permitted up the allegedly steep approach to the Lady in the Mountain. So we continued on our merry way along the coast and were greeted by some really stunning outlooks, friendly locals, and a monkey.
Monkey man.
After our little jungle jaunt, we took off across the city to track down the Con Market, which is a massive, sprawling venue, perfect if you're looking for a less touristy experience. Packed deep with everything you do find at the touristy spots, as well as the more local specific products and fare. Now we're off the scooters, into a grab, and taking a 30k drive down to Hội An. Now, every Da Nang video seems to have a Hội An component. I got a little sick of watching lantern boats before we went on this trip, but when we actually got here, I began to understand why it's such a popular spot to film and photograph. That being said, footage and pictures really don't do this place justice, so make sure you do check this place out. Even with the massive crowds at night, this place is so special. We made a last-minute choice to eat at Cabin on Place. The food was okay, but it was kind of undeservedly pretentious at the same time, so yeah, there you go. The very next day, we went back to Hoi An. Now, why would we do that? Well, my wife actually tracked down some other YouTube video, maybe I can link it, allegedly the world's best sweet and sour pork in this little stall. This is the Cho Hoi An stall in the aptly named Hoi An Market at the centre of Ancient Town. Here's a tip. Find the big red O entry and head straight inside, and it's the first place on your right. If pork's not really your thing, there's plenty of other meals here as well. They range from like $3 to $6 or $7 for the seafood ones. But we were here for the sweet and sour pork, so let's take a quick look at that before it gets absolutely devoured by the wife. And that wrapped up our 5 days in Da Nang. Can't believe it went past so quick. We are off to the airport for some pho. This stuff was amazing. Oh my God, I wish we had airport food like that in Australia. And now it's time for... Coming into land at Ho Chi Minh, you're just surrounded by humanity. And taking a look from the hotel rooftop, it's just astounding. Nighttime blows you away. This place is just huge. We stayed at La Vela Saigon Hotel. Now, this hotel was all right. Mind you, the lifts kind of sucked. Like, they had a mind of their own, and if you didn't catch them and give them the floor you needed straight away, they would just take you on a ride somewhere else. Place is renowned for it, but that was the only thing that really bugged us. You know what else sucks? About an hour later, we were crossing a road and my wife tears her calf muscle. So she is now on crutches or she was bedridden. But we did eat some food and have some drinks at the hotel. That night, though, we jumped in another Grab because it's like 30 cents to go 1,000 kilometers. It's insane. And we ducked a few districts over, I believe, and we went to a restaurant called Okra. This was undoubtedly the best meal of the trip. It is debatedly, at least inside my mind, perhaps the best meal I've ever had at a restaurant. The service was absolutely fantastic. The venue is great. The chef, the kitchen staff were just happy to talk to you. You could just sit there at the end and have drinks. It is just a must-go, cannot recommend it enough. Book this one. For our/my last day in Ho Chi Minh, I soloed up to the Cu Chi tunnels on a speedboat tour. Cannot recommend taking the boat enough. Over a coach or a bus gets you there earlier. It's such a nicer way. So once you get there, you're going to get given, like, this is the whole layout. This is what we're going to be doing by the guide. Head through the gift shop, which is filled with, like, rifles and trinkets. I wish our gift shops were like that. Then you're down a ramp into this little video hut. And after you get here, Vietnam side of the war, you can jump inside a hole. The tour will take you past an exploded American battle tank.
In front there, like 2-3 young men run to the tank round here.
You'll also get to check out how the Viet Cong used unexploded ordnance to create booby traps.
Look.
Now, the highlight of my day was experiencing VC Tunnel, both to get a minuscule idea as to how living underground like this would have been, along with what kind of challenges the Allied Forces tunnel rats face when clearing them. Now, I left a lot out of that part of the video because I didn't want to spoil it for you. Definitely go and do the Cu Chi tunnels and take the speedboat. You get to see so much on the way. And I mean, how cool is that boat? And oh my God, how the hell is that guy not sinking? So now I'm going to jump off the boat. I'm going to get in another Grab and I'm going to head over to the market as there's a couple of things on the list that my wife, GT3 RS, my wife wants me to pick up for her. I do not hold hope that I'm going to be able to achieve the objectives of this mission. This is Saigon Square Market. Super packed, super tight, so much stuff. Wife was absolutely distraught that she missed all of this, especially after seeing all these videos, all the brands. I don't know. I was just completely useless as expected. So I didn't actually achieve anything, but it had so much stuff. Definitely check it out. For our last night, we ducked upstairs to the Casa Fontana restaurant in the hotel, and it was kind of disappointing, but I think that's because we were just so spoiled for food this trip. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope I jammed enough in there to keep you all entertained and perhaps turn your mind to traveling to Vietnam. We are going to Sanur in Bali in about a month, and we'll be rocking the new Pocket 4 Pro. I can't wait to show you that. Bye.